always. She was very well cast, and her career sped on like a bullet. She remains one of Hollywood's busiest actresses. Welcome, Jacqueline Bisset. Yes, yeah, please. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Have you two met before, actually?
We met backstage, yes.
Biting our fingernails backstage.
Oh, backstage, but never
Yes.
before. You were aware of each other, no doubt.
I don't know whether to say this, really. It might embarrass you, I'm not sure, but I did have a poster of you on my wall at one stage.
There's only one poster it could have been, so I guess...
Yeah?
I probably do, yes.
Yes, we all remember that one. And
Yes.
Now, you are an English girl from Weybridge, but you've lived almost half your life in Hollywood now, haven't you? What is it that's kept you there all this time?
I sort of got in the swing of it. I went there not meaning to stay there and bought a house and got involved emotionally, and one thing led to another, and there I am. But I come home a lot, and I still think of here as being home because my mother's here and stuff.
Do you miss our lovely weather and our terrific trains? And
Yes, I do. I do miss the trains. I used to take the train every day from Reading to London for 2 years.
Took that long?
Paddington Station, yeah. Some nights, yes.
You made a pretty good start in Hollywood, didn't you? I mean, you filmed with Sinatra, with Newman and McQueen. Were you in awe of these people?
Well, yes, I was. Of Sinatra, yes, I was. Especially when he came up to me and he said, "I'm Frank Sinatra." I just thought it was amazing. He offered me a cup of coffee, and I think my mouth fell open because it was so obvious, and it just seemed so sweet that he would say that.
Don't you still say that to people when you meet
Well,
them?
I do, but I'm not Frank Sinatra.
What about McQueen, then? What was he like?
Well, Steve is actually the person I feel I got to know the least of all the actors I've worked with. I came to Hollywood, I was still very much an English girl, and I didn't know all this sort of hip jargon that he used to talk, and he would come rushing up to me. It was his first production, and he'd come, rushing like it was the emergency of the world. He had to speak to me, and he'd say, well, you know, dudes and soul chicks, and it was all this stuff, and yes, Steve, yes, Mr. McQueen, yes, Mr. McQueen, yes. And he'd rush off again. And I thought, well, I didn't quite understand what he meant, and I kept waiting for the explanation of my character, which was being rewritten. And I sat around for 10 weeks waiting for my character to be rewritten. And, I mean, the whole thing was absolutely terrifying. Very sweet, but he was a very nice man, I think. I think he was. He was just nervous, and he loved his motorcycle. It was like his escape, so... The minute the shooting was over...
His great escape, yes. Right. You didn't understand Steve McQueen. I expect he was rather, perhaps frightened of you being very, very English, and your background is perfectly English with the boarding school. Did you enjoy it? Did it put iron in the soul?
It did put iron in my soul. It's been the best thing for me. I mean, it's amazing. I'm often standing when people are dropping around me.
What do you mean?
Well, I just think that it gives you a little toughness, you know? You don't complain as much.
As long as you've got a hockey stick.
A half, didn't you?
So the papers say. We all believe the papers. I think they had to discover me, really, because I was just so... I'm one of these people that went through one of those incredibly unfortunate periods called puberty, you know, where basically, like, my face exploded, and I also, as a child, I wore very thick glasses and was very overweight, all the best things you can possibly be. And I just generally didn't have a clue. I mean, I was one of those kids that never didn't even see a mirror until I was about 13, and by that time it was too late. I was right bang in the middle of the spots and the hair and everything. So I just basically had given up on the idea of girls until I was about 15, and then when I was about 15, I suppose my hormones calmed down a bit, and I was very shy, but girls actually, you know, initiated relationships kind of thing. So I was all right from then on. But you know, whenever you see a bad picture of yourself, well, whenever I see a bad picture of myself, that 13-year-old comes flooding back, you know, waddling along.
Shall we do?
How modest you both are. When you were a model, was that a good time, do you think, to be a model in the raving 60s?
I think it couldn't have been... I mean, really, for me to have left an English school and gone to London, I think it was about 1962, I left the English school and went to London. The Beatles were starting, the twist was coming in. It couldn't have been better. I thought my mind was going to explode with excitement. Is there an equivalent now? I'm wondering if people of the same age have an equivalent.
I don't think so.
Hmm?
I think youth culture has come to pretty much a standstill at the moment. It's a bit of a shame. I'm sure something will happen.
But tell us about your very first film part. When was that, and what did you do, Jacqueline?
I did little bits in the knack and something called Arrivederci Baby and odds and ends, sort of basically extra work. No, but my first real part was with Roman Polanski tested me for a film. And I got a small part. I didn't get the part I tested for because he decided to take a professional. He wanted someone unknown. He didn't want a professional originally. Then he saw the tests and he realized he needed a pro.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Now, your latest film, called Forbidden, you are playing someone who is still alive. Does that involve certain problems?
When I met her, I thought, what the hell do I wear? This is this 75-year-old countess who's been through Berlin, the war, and has been an extremely heroic figure, and I could tell how strong she was and how absolutely unrelenting and uncompromising, and I just didn't know what to wear to sit opposite her and find out how I found her, let alone how she found me. I mean, it was just, so I put on, I thought I better wear black. I thought black. And I thought black. And I thought, well, strong, right, leather. So I put black leather
She didn't
on.
get stop her, by any chance?
I didn't mind trying anything. So I certainly shouldn't wear pink or red or anything but black. So I shall just fade into I shall just become a face. I shall fade into the chair. I felt ludicrous going through this. Really, I was like a child trying to please, I suppose. And
you did?
Well, she likes me in the film.
Yeah.
And I like her in life, you know.
George, have you had film offers?
I would like to try it one day, but I think I'm going to wait until people are not so concerned about seeing George Michael, and also until people stop offering me lousy parts.
Use your own name, which is what?
My own real name?
Yeah.
Somebody told me you were going to try and say this, but I don't believe them, because my real name is Yorgos Kyriago Banayotou. It sounds like George Michael can say it really quickly.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say it.
It's a real, you know, get your teeth into it Greek name.
Mm. So what is next? A Mel Brooks comedy or what?
I'd like to do something, yes. I'd like to do something more really witty, really sharp and sort of ironic. Is what
Do
I'd
any of
love
the
to do.
soaps appeal to you at all?
No, they don't
No?
as yet. No, they don't. No, it's too much.
They're pretty witty.
Pretty witty.
They're funny.
They are funny, some of them. But you know that whole lifestyle, if you were in one of those soaps, you
Just
don't
all
have a
work.
life. It's all work and all dressing up
I've
and going
heard
to
that,
charities
yeah.
and stuff. I can't believe how hard those girls work, particularly, I mean, Joan Collins and Linda Evans, they work terribly hard. They have no private life at all. They're always at openings and charities and flying here, all frequently for the benefit of other people.
Do you know, I really can't imagine anything worse than working for a living. Jacqueline, thank you very much indeed, just for the moment.